It was such a great dream, such a great story, but really, did it last from generation to generation? Now, long story short, my grandfather obviously built a heck of a lot of wealth, and my mother had 14 brothers and sisters, 10 of whom survived to be adults. So in 1947, when India had separation and partition and Pakistan was created, all of his family members needed to move across the border, and he basically sponsored all his cousins, uncles, the extended family to move into the printing business. So lo and behold, where you had my grandfather and my grandmother, you now had a family of 40 people effectively working in this family business, which was printing and publishing. Now, as things happened, my grandfather was a dreamer and he believed in the perfect family, the perfect business, utopia, my mother always used to say to me. And was a very positive thinker, very outward looking. So, whilst he was busy growing the business, unfortunately, a lot of her uncles, a lot of her older brothers were basically either spending all the money or causing conflict in the business, fighting over things, etc. So when he would come back from his global trips of, promoting this book that I talked about, the Bhagavad Gita and pictures, etc., you know, it was a big mess. There was no real governance. There wasn't like a board of directors managing it. Everybody was, putting their views forth. Everybody was taking money from the business, etc. So, unfortunately, over a period of time, the next generation, whilst they did amass a great number of wealth, it was sort of fractured. And, really a lot of the businesses went their own ways. Now I have cousins in different parts of the world owning printing and publishing businesses, but they're not fully tied into our family business. And they've also ended up with a lot of properties that they ended up renting out because, some of the people in the family weren't fully trained to take over these businesses and basically lost the printing and publishing kind of a business. So it was such a great dream, such a great story, but really, did it last from generation to generation? I'm not sure.